screaming. That sort of scream that comes on the back of the throat, forced out by the deepest part of you. Shut up, Anna. You're not that smart. There's no bid for control or worse. Just a whole bunch of fucking noise. Her wings, arms, and legs are thrashing around, her back on the floor, staring up at the ceiling as her hands are pressed to her face, desperately clawing at her hair, her eyes, along with her snout. Oh, is the Anon, is the Nasser in your dream was trying to tell you to help this Fang? Oh, that's so dumb. I mean, I get it. That's like decent writing, but you were so verbose about getting 1 point across. When that did nothing, she immediately flopped onto her stomach, legs flopping around. Stop flopping, as her arms craned towards her back. She was going for her wings. I remember that she preened herself on the rooftop. Her emotional state led her to warm herself. About feathers and leave pools of blood behind, and gaps in the feathers. I'd lurched at the thought. Pushed myself off the floor. Within a few steps, I cleared. Your room is not that big, man. I just have to stop her from hurting herself. If that was even possible. You tried to extend her the night before apartment. She fucking kicked you across the room. Shut the fuck up, Bert. Put that in italics just to establish that Anon is like mentally focusing or it's like shifting gears. She had her face pressed firmly into the floor, her legs pressing and kicking against it. Why are you doubling on your verbs so often? Ass of the... Shut up. The unplanned awkward position highlighted just how much she wasn't thinking anymore. The good news was that it also meant that her arms were having a hell of a time from the angle reaching the back, and getting a bit church on her wings was getting into... My hands slipped right through her. Huh? The scream somehow managed to grow louder, either because my touch disturbed her or frustrations with her position grew. I tried again, same result. Again, this is weirdly flippant, right? Shouldn't it be Anon being panicked that he can't actually solve anything? She flopped once again onto her back, legs flinging. Why are you over-describing this? Just describe her continuously flailing. Don't use flop. That's such a bad verb. Like, so much about this just could be condensed and given sexier verbs, and it'd be so much better. And I flinched as one connected directly with my face, only to pass through with no sensation at all. She's a hallucination, you dumb fuck. What do you think? Shut up, Bray. Oh, this is what I meant. Again, I tried to grab her. Nothing, nothing, and nothing. She thrashed about. She also tried to make swipes at me and kick me away. Each time, they just went right through me. Screaming grew louder, more piercing than anything I've ever heard. I swear to God, those amber eyes I adore were still going different directions. How are they amber if she's blue? That's my attack. You're blue now! Problem solved. Oh, God. No, I can't. There was nothing I could do. I then flashed back to holding Nasa dying in my arms from that dream. Even there, I couldn't do something, even if it didn't mean anything. But I couldn't touch or interact with it. It didn't hear me yell or try to calm it. Just kept screaming and flailing and trashing. So I ran. I ran away like the little chicken shit I always was. I flailed on all fours past and scurried into the bathroom, throwing the door closed. Did little to silence the cacophony in the main room of the apartment. I slammed my back against the door of it as if to brace it shut and curled my knees to my chest. Oh, pull your knees to your chest, man. I pressed my... Jesus Christ, can you start a sentence with something other than a pronoun? I pressed my hands to my ears and squeezed my eyes shut. Stop, Fang. Please, stop. I'm sorry. I mean, this is like a good ghost haunting, right? There is no big, fancy, edgelord conversation. It is just the raw emotion of fucking up. I love how the song plays and the game, like, slowly... I think it fades out or zooms out, one of the two. It's such a good way to introduce your character to the game. It's like you have this moment, you're like, I get level ups and I get cool powers, and it's like, useless. It's useless. Jonah is doomed, you fool. Wasn't entirely sure how long it took. Okay, let's actually... No, we're almost at the end anyway. Okay, there we go. I wasn't entirely sure how long it took before I was comfortable enough to leave the bathroom again. But definitely a good while after the screaming and crying stopped. That was for damn sure. Even muffled by the doors of my hands, her wailing was hard to miss, to say the least. Could assume that no one else could hear her, otherwise the cops would have arrived by now. Skin row or not, a woman screaming bloody murder that loudly for that long would get police attention, if for no other reason than because my immediate neighbor Jerry was an asshole, and would as soon see me arrested for murdering a hooker as say hi. I don't know why I got my verbs tensed up there. When I managed to work up the balls to actually open the door and check again, it didn't take much to locate her. The room was still mostly dark, save the glow of the TV, and the fact that she also was just fucking glowing up the place. She had scurried herself into the back corner between my desk and entertainment center closet, combo installation, as well as fully cocooned herself within her wings. Feathery little ball of pale, ghostly glow. After what felt like an eternity of sitting there with my head leaned out of the bathroom door, just staring at the lightly glowing blue mass of feathers, And noting nothing happening outside of the occasional whimper, I built up enough courage to actually leave the safety room of the only room with a door in the entire apartment. It couldn't touch me. I couldn't touch it, so it wasn't dangerous. Though banshee wills it could put out certainly didn't help my already shit mental condition. Painstakingly tiptoed my way into the living room and went to kill the TV. Some new program. It looked like a... Oh, shit. Talking about the shooting again. Did that set it off? Could that set it off? The hell does that even mean? It's just a hallucination, right? It followed me home, could seemingly talk to me, or at me, at a minimum. There wasn't any proof that it was sentient, since it's not like I conversed with it. Though, if it was at all in my head, I guess I would be crazy enough to have a conversation with it anyway, so it was hardly a high bar. But I'd been asleep with that miserable dream, just different enough from all the other times to really shake me up, and when I got woken up with it flopping, it knows about the shooting she did while I was asleep. Do hallucinations work like that? I was not exactly a psychological expert, but something like that didn't feel right. Call it a gut impression. I mean, like, you could still hear the news, right? Or even watching stuff. I mean, anyway, he turned it on, right? Hitting the power, the room was thrown into darkness. Or it would have been if that thing didn't glow. Another shuddering breath. I was less and less certain I knew what this thing was. Concerning, actually. The only thing I was growing more certain of was that this wasn't a simple hallucination. Literally nothing else felt off. I wasn't seeing Nasa or Naomi or any other shit I'd expect out of a normal horror movie experience. Hell, at this point, I'd find it more comfortable if they did show up, all rotted and zombied and screaming at me for my fuck-ups. Be awful, sure, but at least I'd accept it as being completely cracked. This... I reached my hand out to it, hesitating for a long moment before pressing to make contact. Second, my fingertips made contact with the feathers. Jesus Christ, please stop the repeats. Naturally passing through without resistance, I heard it yelp and immediately descended to crying again. Rapid breaths in and out, punctuated by barely coherent apologies. I'm sorry, Nasser. I'm sorry. It muttered, pulling itself even more tightly. I was getting goosebumps just watching her. That's called empathy, dingus. Something about all this didn't feel right. I mean, the obvious is of you seeing your dead girlfriend aside. Like, not that movies or something should be a good frame of reference for anything, but nothing I'd ever seen had stuff like this happen. If it was a hallucination, damn it, it was hard to put together what felt off. Pressed my hand forward again, going through those wings. It seemed to react to me, but I couldn't actually touch her. Did that mean any... This time the reaction was more intense. Wings flew open, she kicked at me, which startled me enough to make me tumble backwards. This distance was made she squeezed herself further back into the corner, though she wasn't trying to go herself in her wings now. In fact, she wasn't trying to push me away so much as her wings were passing right through the wall behind her. Oh, God, that's just silly looking. Fang, could you stop that? You're lighting up the street. Her breathing was deep and rapid. Arms crossed, gripping his shoulder. Oh, that pose. Like earlier. It didn't seem like she could claw herself, thank God. But she was squeezing, holding on for dear life. Beyond that, her eyes were open. Even if they were pointed in my general direction, she didn't really seem to see me. She was looking through me. Was it having a panic attack? Stop using it, for fuck's sake. You're not even consistent with it. You know, I mentioned before, like, they were going on, and the main reason is we're now doing something. We are establishing the situation. Anon is like, ugh. And Fang is like, ugh. Because as far as we can tell, Fang is just remembered some traumatic stuff, and Anon has sort of processed it. He's also kind of tired, so... It's okay that Anon is, like, kind of pushing through this, even though I normally say that he's too weak to do such a thing. Well, how do hallucination of a panic attack? That's the dumbest thing I'd ever heard of. You've never fucking seen spooky ghosts that are, like, having a traumatic moment before they claw you to death? Buddy, get up the code. Even figuring my mind was snapping like a twig under the pressure, I couldn't imagine more utterly retarded means of expressing it than... I'm sorry, Anon. I didn't mean to. You didn't deserve any of this. It softly whined. Oh, God. A chill washed over me, settling in my stomach as everything felt like it dropped out under me. I fell hard to a knee as the realization was beginning to set in. This isn't a hallucination. It couldn't be. I suspected it wasn't, but I couldn't pin down why I felt like it. A lot of awfulness about it, but nothing concrete. But that... apologizing? Saying I didn't deserve it? There was no fabrication in my mind. My mind is pure self-loathing. Literally the only thing I've felt since all this happened is how much of a useless piece of shit I am. How everyone would have been better off if I stuck to my plan of being invisible. Me, my own brain, thinking I didn't deserve all the bad shit that was landing on my head. A laughable concept. Nasa didn't deserve what happened to him, and Fang didn't deserve what happened to her. Hell, I didn't even think, as much as a continental cunt as she was, Naomi deserved to be shot. Dead. I think it's fine if she got shot in the leg and had to walk around in a crutch or in a wheelchair or just like had to limp for a little while. I'd be okay with that. But dead is the part that I take umbrage to. Me, though? I deserve the pain and misery I brought upon myself for stepping out of my lane and fucking up everyone else. I mean, we get it, Anon. It was her. It was her. It is her. Why are you using past tense? It is her. I couldn't comprehend how or why. Maybe there wasn't any. But it is Fang. As a goddamn ghost. Fang, could you not be a spooky ghost in my house? I sat there for some time, staring at her as she slowly calmed back down. Once her freak out subsided, she went back to her quiet mutterings. I considered saying something, but it just felt wrong. Because you have to be silent on the rooftop. Fuck you. God damn it, I hate that. I only pushed her down the path to turn her into this. Couldn't imagine that any new special ways that could make things worse for her. When she managed to calm down enough, I pushed myself off the ground and hobbled my babe back over to my bed. I didn't have any goddamn idea what to do. I was too tired to think. How am I supposed to handle spooky ghosts? The only thing I could hope for was at least getting a little shut-eye in and then maybe talk to her, or maybe figure out a plan of just, I don't know, something? Fuck if I knew what. She was dead, Anon. She's dead. Now she's a ghost. She isn't, would your deadness be past tense if you're undead? Because undead is like you were dead and you're no longer. So she's still dead, and she's a ghost. She killed herself and others. What the hell would you even do to broach this subject? Look, Fang, I got you a card. Sorry, I got shot, and you shot your brother and killed him and then killed yourself. It's a lovely card, I know, very specific, but I thought it was neat. I thought it was very weird, too. Like, maybe you have powers to affect plausibility or something. Why the hell would you... Oh, I rolled over and clamped my eyes shut, hoping to drift off again. At this point, I'd happily take that nightmare of us dying in my arms and all. That's so flippant. At least then I wouldn't have to try to rack my brain on how to confront the girlfriend ghost. Any time I felt like I started to drift to a sniffle, shift, or mutter something behind me, immediately spiking my heart rate or triggering a flight and flight response at me. It's going to be a very, very long night. I wonder, and this is kind of like important for contextual stuff, like, what are the ghost rules? Because if you're going to do spooky ghosts, you got to establish the ghost rules. Sorry to tell you. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by things I want to write. Ain't that just the way of things? Ain't it just the hand I'm dealt? I should make a copy of this window that I could show you, so I could, like, take you along on the journey. You know, that'd be something, I guess. I like to write out dialogue most of all. I feel like in writing, dialogue is a very connective tissue kind of thing. I also like to sometimes include third-party perspective descriptions, like important clues and viewpoints and stuff. Or just like little thoughts and put them into writing and then later figure out if I want to keep them as dialogue or not. You know, kind of just figure shit out. Whoops, that's my... Oh, God, I need to set this window up. It'd be great. You get to see what I write. You get to go, Safi, you're a shit writer. And you know what? I'm going to see if I can get this taken care of. Oh, look, now you can see it. Now I can see what I'm writing. So, is this weird to do this in the middle? Listen, buddy, I get ideas in the middle of stuff, right? And sometimes I want to write it out. And I figure we might as well accommodate me being a little bitch. Because I think people need to understand this. Jesus. I will never be the kind of guy who does formulaic content, okay? I will never be the kind of guy who starts, who does a series and it's just that series. I'll fuck around. I'll have fun. I'll do something I want to do. Because ultimately, this channel is 99% me recording my thoughts and feelings and just having a good time. And if someone happens to enjoy that, that's great. I don't ever want this to be a business. If it becomes a business, then fuck me. Anyway, so like the big thing for like the opening incident of the new verse thing as I've begun to digest it. First off, we're not having Fang for like the idea is that it's a very big thing, and Fang doesn't show up for the first part of it. Fang is like at home. Trish knows Fang, and Fang isn't here. We're going with a different version of Trish. We're going with this amalgam of characters from Goodbye Volcano High and Wani. The Wani verse, I guess. And the core idea that I kind of really like as like a concept. I want to do a lot of world building stuff in the background, but I also want to create this sort of like thing. And part of the thing is that Anon went through his flare, which is where your brain cracks. And because when your brain cracks, when you put enough pressure, you can access the new verse, which is like you can access magic now. The problem is the first thing you do, the first act of magic that pretty much everyone has, is that you wish for literally anything or anyone to fix your problem for you. And it's so bad that you generally turn into an invincible monster for a little bit that you don't control, that just causes a whole lot of havoc and everyone gets spanked. Originally, Anon never hurt anyone. I like the idea a little more that the story is that Anon doesn't remember killing Holly Caldwell or anyone else. Because the whole ghost thing is like, I'm not going to do ghosts for Anon, but it is going to be Anon thinks that he's innocent and he just got fucked over. And at some point he gets told, Anon, you killed those people. And the idea behind this is that it's already like a lot of trauma. And I would like the idea of like he just doesn't care. Like everyone around him is like, Anon, I can't believe. I mean, it's not that uncommon for people around here to have that problem. But he is like, wow, I don't care. She got what she deserved. You know, there is this... Because when you pop, when you get that flare, the emotion that's associated with it gets stuck in your head. So Anon is adamant that she got what she had coming. She got what she deserved. And there's no way to change his little baby mind about that. Waggling fingers and all that. It's kind of what I want to go... the angle I want to go with here. And so the first chapter is pretty short. It just focuses on, like, this is what happened, and we got Mr. Ferris here. There is Electric Boogaloo too, which is that Anon has grown up and he has a child. They have Amber, and Amber goes to school with Inko and all that, which is cute. I just think that's cute. It also means that Mia can be Naomi's daughter, which is just a thing I've been thinking about. So what I'm working with here is that the first chapter is fairly small. It is Ferris has a conversation. We sort of establish this upper crust of like there's something going on and there's someone trying to do something. Like someone has a scheme and Anon is being reeled into it. And then the next chapter shows Trish already where Anon arrives, which is supposed to sort of demystify the whole situation and make it not seem as serious and severe. But the first chapter meant to be a nice little hook of Ferris being like, how much do you remember? Because the big thing about, again, when the new verse is thoughts and feelings and stuff, so when you first pop, you don't remember your flare. When that flare ends, whatever causes it, usually getting blown to pieces tends to help. When you're blown to pieces and it stops, you don't remember much, if anything. So as far as Anon is concerned, Holly Caldwell got up on stage, finally blew him over, and he just went nuts and murdered a bunch of people in a horrible monster state. His powers, if I recall correctly, is that he is basically sort of cancerous. Rapid regeneration, mutative abilities. Because Anon sees himself as a horrifying monster. And so he likes to think of himself as a we that cannot be killed. And a lot of thematic themes. I'm just saying I'm trying to tie stuff together. Trisha's thing, it's like everything has to come together. With Fang, Fang is already good, a talented musician, but Fang's thing is that they have like soft brainwashing abilities like hypnotic suggestion and stuff. It's not strong, and also some degree of wind power because Fang likes to, free and blah 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 blah. Who cares? Trish's thing is that they turned it to rock. Um, Part of it is meant to be a joke because Trish popped. They had their flare because most people get their flare from traumatic situations. Some don't. Ophinia, for example, got hers from being excited and happy, but she still has trauma because she shot her mother on the way out. Just like a smart person would, just gonna leave home trying to shoot my mom, and my dad gets because they're trying to shoot my dad, but I shot my mom when I tried to shoot my dad. um, where were we? Trish's power is the same as it was in the thing that I already posted, which is like she turns into rock. So you can metamorphosize into stone. Reed has no powers, and he's just like chill to be there. And part of his situation is that he's basically drugged up because he's surrounded by people that are extraordinarily dangerous and powerful. And he's like, man, between this and the fact that there are literal monsters living in this world, I need my fix. The whole thing comes together. Why am I talking about this? Fucking hell, Safi. We got a story to read. I need to rename this thing though. There we go. It had been several long days. It's hard to tell how many exactly. Oh, let's just start from the beginning so people know they can stop.